Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome to Phil's Picks, this being episode 8. Great games for interesting times. Boy, do we live in some interesting times, let me tell you. Welcome again. If you haven't seen the past episodes, please go back to the YouTube channel. They should be down here at the bottom. You should be able to watch episodes 1 through 7. Also see the links to the actual products that are for sale down underneath there. I can't put them up here in the video area anymore. I have to put them down below for some reason. So, yeah, I don't understand it either. But it's YouTube for you. So let's get started right away, shall we? First up, we just announced this morning that we are taking pre-orders for this puppy, the Harry Potter Miniatures Adventures game from the folks at Night Model, same guys that do the Batman Miniatures game. Now, a lot of you saw this, it caused quite a stir over the last 3 or 4 weeks, before Gamma Trade Show especially. They initially said that it was going to be a Kickstarter, then they said no Kickstarter, we're just going to take pre-orders direct off the website. There's a lot of confusion going on because they're in Madrid and they're not a very big company and they don't have any English speakers, primary English speakers on staff. So there's a lot of confusion over this announcement, a real dust up over it. It's all good now, we're fine, we're going to have this in stores, we're going to have it in our warehouse. In fact, we are taking pre-orders for it right now. I announced that this morning in my morning email. If you go to the Night Model section of our website, golddisc.com, you can see it right up there. You can pre-order these now. We're going to be taking advanced pre-orders until probably about June, first week of June, I think is when they're calling it. These are due in stores the end of the year, so right around Christmas time frame, end of November, 1st of December, I think is what they're talking about, to have this in stores. It's a really big deal. It's been kind of a kerfluffle because the license is by Warner Brothers and J.K. Rowling has to approve everything, and it's kind of nuts. One thing that they did show us last year were the metal miniatures, which I showed off in my last episode, and I do have a winner for that. I'll get to that in just a bit. But at the Gamma Trade Show this year, we had a rep from Night Models in our booth, and they brought these along. You will notice there are 7 of them that I managed to get. These are some advanced promo copies of the miniatures as they're going to retail. So this is the Slytherin Students Pack. This is the Dumbledore's Army Students Pack. This one's got Crabbe Goyle and Malfoy. This one's got Ginny and Cho and, what's her name? Luna. Oh, jeez, it's been a long day. So these are the minis that they have as promos. I have 3 of the girls and 4 of the boys. I know last time I tried to get some of the metal Snapes out and show you the painted Potters, and we lost audio, and it was all crazy. I'm going to try this again this time and hope for the best. Let's see. This is Malfoy without his arms. I'm going to slowly bring that up here so we can see the detail on that. His arms have to be glued on, but these are roughly 32 to 35 millimeter scale, depending on who you ask. They look really nice. Crabbe and Goyle are the same way. Crabbe here is one piece, so he doesn't require a lot of gluing. The detail is phenomenal. They're in this resin-colored plastic. Every unit comes with a card. You can now see what they look like. This is the Malfoy card. He knows a spell, and you can add extra spells down here. And here are some of the spell cards, potions, what have you. They all look like things right out of the movie, and so they look really, really fancy. Something to really look for. This is going to be a super big seller across the board because the Potter license is still really hot. Let's have a quick look at the ladies, and you can see what they look like. They're very tiny. The Luna especially is quite a delicate miniature. Let's get her out of here. Here's Ms. Luna. I think if I get my hand behind it, there we go. I found a trick to focusing these last time. So you can see there's Luna, and they just look phenomenal. They really do. The painted figures that you see on the website, on the Night Models website, are this scale. Believe it or not, those are actual hero paintings that they're painting in this scale, and they look like no other. So, the Harry Potter Miniatures game, available now for pre-order. Get those in today. First come, first serve. It may be kind of hard to get. Their production capacity might groan under the strain of this when we start hitting them in June, July with these orders. So first come, first serve. Get your Warbox orders in. I'll make sure I fill those on a first come, first serve basis. I'm also going to take out one of each of these. I'm going to put these aside. I'll explain why later. The rest of these are up for grabs. If you have watched the video today, drop me an email and I will put you in a drawing for the next video. I'll draw out 5 stores who respond to me and say, hey, Phil, I watched your video. I'd like to be in the drawing. And I will ship each one of you 5 stores a set of these promo miniatures. So I'm just going to start that right off. Last time I kind of buried it at the end, and I don't think anybody saw the Snape miniature I gave away last time. See, that's what you get for not watching all the videos. So, 5 of these available. I'm going to have, 3 guys and 2 ladies, and those will be available to 5 stores that watch this video and drop me an email and say, ooh, I want some. No requirement for a pre-order, but if you did, I would not complain. No big deal there. So, we'll send those to you very shortly. This is going to be super hot. I mean, it's been live for pre-orders now for less than, 6 hours on our website, and we've already got like a couple thousand pre-orders. It's absolutely absurd and ridiculous. So we're going to give those away later. Next up, we've got... Oh, wait, you know what? I'm going to announce real quick the winner of the contest from last time, the Episode 7 Snape promo figure winner. That would go to Bob at Tower Games, Minneapolis. Yay, Tower Games. Please visit them at this URL or this location. Even better, if you are in the Twin Cities, stop by and say hi to Bob, and once he gets his Snape promo in the mail, you can have it painted up, and you can see that too. So, hooray, Bob, we're going to leave you up here and give you a little free advertising for the show. How's that sound? All right, next on our list is going to be the fine folks at Corvus Belli. They, too, were guests in our booth at the Gamma Trade Show, and they left us all kinds of fun stuff, including the upcoming Operation Red Veil 2-player introductory battle pack for the Infinity Miniatures game. This expansion, Beyond Red Veil, both of these are very cool, very new products, quite good for introducing your player base into the game of Infinity. This is very nice because it takes 2 of the sides. It's the Yujing and the Hakaslam. I can't ever say it right. Takes the 2 main sides, dukes them out against each other. You get all your templates, all your counters, all your dice, simple to read books, and terrain. Check this out. Got one of these in a box here. And I wanted to, oh, there it is. The terrain that comes with it, all right, they're just cardboard boxes. But look, you pop them together, and in no time, you can decorate your entire table with power converters or warehouses or whatever they are. A whole stack of these are in this box, full color, printed up, ready to go. Now, the miniatures are pewter, and some of them are plastic, so you are going to have to glue them and paint them and get them together. But this is a great introduction to Infinity. Operation Red Veil, well-priced, good introduction, as well as the expansion. I will also be giving this away later. We'll explain a big giveaway I'm doing on this episode, but these can be yours if you watch all the way to the end, so keep your eyes open for that. Now, the folks at Corvus Belli do lots of other stuff. They do Infinity. This is a Drew's Shock Team Mercenary set. I'll be giving this away as well. Very cool. Nothing much to see in the box. Just 4 unpainted miniatures and their bases. But this is a full unit expansion. And then at the Gamma Trade Show in Reno, they were handing these out as well. This is a promo figure, Major Luna, an ex-Aristia sniper. It is a promo figure of a lady with a big gun, and she will shoot you dead. I have a bunch of these, and I am going to give these out pretty much free for the asking. If you place a Corvus Belli, Infinity, or Aristia order in the next couple of weeks, our warehouse will dole one of these out to everybody that places an order for them. And actually, they're here at my place. It's going to take till probably Monday. So starting next week, anybody who orders Infinity or Aristia is going to get one of these in the box while supplies last. We also have, where is it in here? Some buttons, Aristia buttons. We can get you a couple of those. Also some Aristia Maximus promo cards. Really handy to come into the game. What's this Aristia you keep talking about? That's this guy. Aristia is set in the Infinity Universe, but it's the Ultimate Sports Show, and it is an all-in-one box that it's hard to explain. It's a 2-player tactical action game. You have 4 characters on either side. You fight for prizes and glory. It's a cage match in the future, but it's really well done. Cool cards, cool minis, again, unpainted, all in here, ready to go. But it's doing quite well, and it's a very nice box. We got these all in stock. This is also going in the prize pack, so I'm going to throw that in there. Let's see, you'll get some of these. Make sure I hand you some of these. These are all going to be in the warehouse. So, again, if you place an order, I'll have a warehouse guys, once they get these back in there next week, throw those in for you as well. But the prize pack will contain just a few. If you are interested in running promos in your shop, Corvus Belli makes a lovely promo pack. If this isn't listed, it will be soon. This is something they were putting together. Here's a demo pack of Infinity figures, not for sale. Very nice for prize support. Some patches of the different units. That's Velcro, fuzzy, and grippy. You can sew it. These are really, really nice patches. Buttons, again, for all of the units. There are some more Aristia buttons, stickers from each of the units. Those are actually pretty cool. These are catalogs, Corvus Belli quick start rules, I should say, for Infinity. So if you want to learn how to play the game super quick, and a handful of other things in here for Aristia as well. Wonderful store demo kit, lots of prizes, lots of cool support in here that the folks at Corvus Belli are putting together. This is such a new thing that, again, I apologize if you don't see it listed on the website. I'll make double sure that it's either up or we have it up very, very soon. But they showed me this in Reno, sent it home to me, and said, you got to check this out. This is something, again, if you have a store and you're planning on running any Corvus Belli events for either Aristia or for Infinity, you're going to need one of these. So check that out. And, yeah, all right, I'll throw this in the prize pack, too. Why not? Make a store very, very happy. What else do they have? That's probably it for Corvus Belli for this time around. Next up, I'm going to talk about a company that we had before, that we all knew and loved. That was Hawk Wargames. Now, Hawk Wargames made Drop Zone Commander, also Drop Fleet Commander, two very, very cool tactical, one ground combat, one starship combat game. They went under right after Gen Con last year. They were picked up in October by an English company called TT Combat. Now, TT Combat makes some MDF terrain, which I'll be showing you in a minute. They also make a very cool miniatures game, which I'll get to. But they bought Hawk, and they're putting them all back into production. So if you haven't been able to get Hawk Wargames stuff from us for a while, now's your chance. We'll be bringing that back. This is just an example. This is a Racon Krell. This is just some funny little, I don't know, crawly robot thing. It's supposed to have either missiles or guns, and while I liked it so cool, I just put the guns on top of the missiles. Pew pew! That's really cool. Here, sit up here and entertain us for a while. That's neat. Rumbleslam is their other game. And I kept this out of the box because I want you to see. This is Rumbleslam. It is a wrestling game. Yes, it is the game of fantasy wrestling. Seriously, no kidding. The spotlight is on the ring. You got minis. It's team-based wrestling, but it's got all the laser cut counters, cards, everything, even a mat. I left the sleeve off because it's a bit hard to get off. But you have your mat. Of course, your wrestling ring, all your laser cut tokens, your stars, your X's, your blood drips, and then the cards and the minis. There's a human team consisting of guys like this, very nicely sculpted. And then there are some baddies like these guys, or I smash your face. Can't imagine what they're like up on the, here's the fat goblins. And here's the little green guys. Yeah, come at me, bro. This game is sweet, and it's selling extremely well. It's either you've heard of it, and you gotta have it because your players are going crazy for it, or you've never heard of it, and you're wondering what on earth is this all about. Either way, it's very cool. Wrestling is a big thing again, who knew? And everybody wants a miniatures game based on it. Here it is, 28mm fantasy-based Rumbleslam. Again, we should have all this live in the system today. If we don't, I'll yell at somebody and make sure it gets live later. Excuse me, as well as all the new Hawk Wargames stuff. Now, TT Combat themselves is known as a terrain maker. These are a couple of examples. This is an industrial hive. Again, very well cut, nicely packaged, all very good. It just smells a little burnt, but yeah, most of that MDF stuff does. And inexpensive too. You know, even after we import it, ship it over from the UK, it's still going to be well priced in your stores. So there's the industrial hive, and then this is the one that my lovely assistant and I put together in about 45 minutes one night. It's a 3-story brownstone tenement building. Cool thing is again, they come off. Everything comes off and separates. You can play around inside, make it a 1-story, make it a 2-story. It even comes with a little window air unit. How cute is that? It's super easy to assemble. Like I said, we put this together. All the details, all the trim work, molding, everything in 45 minutes or less. And I believe the retail on this guy is only $25, I think, after conversion. Very, very nice stuff. And, you know, versatile. Good for anything. They do have a wrecked version of this. It has boarded up windows as well. You can get that. There's a fire escape option that you can stick a fire escape, I think, out the back. But again, really, really nice work. Now, the thing with TT Combat is that they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of titles of MDF terrain. They just have mind-blowing amounts of this stuff. There's fantasy, there's steampunk, there's modern. It's all 28 mil, but man, it's all over the place. So I'm going to be offering this, but I need your help. If you want to stock this stuff and you want me to stock something in particular, please go have a look at their line, ttcombat.com. Dig around on their catalog. If you want to put together an initial list of, yeah, I'd probably like to bring these in, please send it to me, because without that initial list, I don't know where to begin. I'm going to pick 50 top sellers and call it done, but that's going to leave a lot of you wanting. So if you want TT Combat, go look at their website, say, Phil, I need these items, and I'll make sure I add those so that you can order them. TT Combat on the website, also Hawk Wargames, Rumbleslam, which is probably listed under TT. I'm not sure. We'll have to have a look on that and verify to be certain. Here are a couple of additional miniatures from the Rumbleslam line. That's also the rule book. Super easy. It's just slick as can be. I really enjoy it. My 6-year-old likes playing it. Here is a lovely lady with a bell. I'm not sure what that is. And then another shirt-ripping ogre. Very, very cool. They come with cards, everything blistered, ready to go. TT Combat, Rumbleslam. Check it out. Brand new line. Let's talk next about, let's stretch all the way over here where you can't see me. These guys. Sorry, Bob, I'm going to put you out of the way for a little bit. This is a company called Pencil First Games. Now, these are all written by a bunch of people. This is Steve Finn, Eduardo Baroff, Beth Sobel is the artist. Love Beth's work. Hi, Beth. Beth lives just down the road from me here, and we're buds, so hi, Beth. Herbaceous is the main game that you know these guys for. It's been out for a little while. It's all about planting lovely flowers in your garden. And let me tell you, this is one of the prettiest games to come out in the last few years. It's really spectacular. Also a lot of fun to play. Dr. Finn's Games is the imprint, and Pencil First is the publisher, and there's lots of things going on. Dr. Finn's Games are also pretty cool. Steve does some really nice stuff, and I want to make sure that you guys are aware that Steve Finn has his own company as well, Dr. Finn's Games. I'll probably have them in a coming episode, so watch for that later. Brand new release from Pencil First is Sunset Over Water. It's a picturesque game of painting landscapes. Seriously, you move your guy around the countryside and pick up the landscapes and try to complete paintings. It's got that Takedo go collect a painting feel to it, but it's a lot simpler and in one box, up to 4 players. Very cool, low cost games, but super high replayability, and man, just art that is second to none. Beth, you're amazing. Another brand new game they've got is this one. This is Legendary Creatures. This is by Eduardo and a fellow named Christopher Ham, a bunch of other folks. It's really spectacular. You have to become the next druid of nature's grace. So you're building this giant, tall board to take your trials through nature. It doesn't really have a theme that you'd recognize. It's more fantasy and, you know, minotaurs and that sort of thing. But the production quality on this sucker is, you gotta see it to believe it. The best punches, the best boards I've seen in years out of these guys. The miniatures are spectacular. Every one of the miniatures is a unique sculpt. There's the red dragon out of here. I mean, just beautiful, beautiful game. We played it once and had to rush, and I can't wait to play it again. Legendary Creatures available for pre-order now from Pencil First Games. So check those guys out. Eduardo will thank you. I will thank you, because it's spectacular stuff. Alright, next up on my list, I gotta make room for this beast, who I don't even think will fit under the camera. Ugh. There it is. GKR Heavy Hitters. This game is truly massive. It's so massive, I'm going to put my microphone on the floor for the love of Pete. Oh, that can't be good here. Let's put that up here. Technical difficulties. Seriously, the box is so big, I gotta pan the camera up so you can see just how massive this thing is. I think it's 19 inches on a side, something like that. Not quite as big as Gloomhaven, taller, not as heavy, and there's 2 to a case. This was made by the guys at Weta Workshop. Yes, the same guys in New Zealand that are the special effects house for all the Peter Jackson films, Lord of the Rings, King Kong, all that. That's the special effects house that made all that. Turns out they got a bunch of nerds in-house. They said, hey, let's make a robot game called GKR Heavy Hitters, and here it is. Sold $1 million on Kickstarter. Now it's available to the world in general. The purpose is you're running a team of mechs. You have corporate sponsors. You're trying to tag these skyscrapers, which you put together and build right out on your table. Very, very cool concept. Check these out, though. Right out of the box, this is how they look. Fully painted, fully decaled, fully optional, and rubber. I mean, you can't hurt them, right? I was tossing these around on the floor at Reno, giving people heart failure because they hit the floor and you can't hurt them. Yeah, they're a little stiffer than rubber, but man, not much. Those are amazing. Absolutely killer. There's 4 different teams of these guys, and every one you pull out just looks prettier than the last one. And again, they're the same super high production quality. Absolutely mind-blowing. The company's throwing a lot of money into this. They're putting a lot of promotion behind it. They're starting up a tournament team. After the tournaments, there's going to be some expansions. There's going to be, I believe, national and world rankings is what I was led to believe from some folks. This thing is red hot. Again, completely painted and ready to go right out of the box. You shouldn't have to touch a thing when you get started. I'm taking pre-orders on these now. They should be in the warehouse. I think they said end of May is when that's going to be shipping. Yeah, it's so big it won't even fit in front of the camera. GKR heavy hitters. No, I'm not throwing this one in the prize pack. It's mine, my precious. You do not have it. It is all mine. And it's got to sit back there. Heavy hitters for now. Oh, dang it, Bob. Look at that. You knocked the guns right off. That's fine. No big deal. All right. Next, we're going to talk about one of my absolute favorite war game companies. That is GMT Games. Tony Curtis and the crew there do some absolutely mind-bending war games. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, all right, war games, you're moving chits, you're doing historical stuff. Yeah, all right, it's historical. For example, this is the Prussians and the French fighting at Metz in 1870. Does it sound boring? Yeah, but let me tell you, these guys have really done justice to wargaming. If you're looking to get back into it, you got some folks interested in historicals, check out GMT Games. Let me give you an example. Metz, again, a little-known battle to most folks these days, but it was a pretty huge deal, one of the deciding battles of the Franco-Prussian War back in 1870, 71, sometime in there. What GMT does is they put these big boxes on the bottom backs of each one of their games. It shows you exactly what's in it. Sample game counters and markers. Here's what they are, why they look that way, and how they work. Over here are the contents of the game, everything you'll need to know, the time per turn, how many people, the scale, 1 to 2 players, and then a difficulty chart. Complexity, this one's a 4 out of 9. Solitaire suitability, this one's a 6 out of 9. I wish every publisher would put this kind of box info, box text, right on the back of their game because it explains every single detail of the game that you can read standing there in, 90 seconds, a consumer can figure out everything they need to know about this game. What's better is the quality. I know years past, some of the historical stuff came in baggies and was questionable or what have you, but their rule books are incredibly well written. They're easy to read, lots of effects, lots of designer's notes, I should say. Really just super simple stuff. It's not intimidating at all. And the best part, the person who packs it puts a little note in there that says, this is to ensure you that I've hand-packed and inspected this game. Who else does this? Really, really cool. My favorite part of the GMT games is always their maps. I'm a serious map junkie, and these hex maps are divine. Absolutely beautiful stuff. They also have a huge, huge library, so if you're just not into the Franco-Prussian War of the 1870s, don't worry. We've got Main Battle Tank. These are 2 expansions. This is the British Army of the Rhine and the West German Tank Combat. These are 2 expansions to the main game, which is called MBT, but it allows you to do tank battle in the 80s, and I believe up until the early 90s, in Western Europe. So you want to recreate World War III with NATO Warsaw? Here you go. These are 2 expansions to that. I also have a lovely Space line, Space Empires. This is the Replicators expansion. Heavy, heavy, heavy box. But again, you can see on the back, same box text in here, same suitability and complexity, all the details you need. Man, they really raise the bar. For board game publishing, GMT Games is the place if you're looking for anything remotely historical or cool. Also, look at this trade dressing. I mean, come on, they all match, and every one of them's like that. Absolutely stunning. Oh, I'm running out of space. Oh, I have literally barricaded myself in with games. Who's next on the list? Whew, after GMT. Okay, those are all products that we carry. I'm going to talk to you now quickly about a couple of products that we don't yet carry. One of which is one I mentioned in the last episode, which is Zitterdez. Zitterdez, I'm not entirely still certain how you pronounce this. It's a German terrain company. Same kind of thing with TT Combat. We are in the process of bringing them in. We will be listing them. We will be importing them. We just need to find out what you'd like. And their line is 600 of these things long. just crazy. This is primarily what they sell. These are foam terrain pieces that are gray, the gray sprayed styrofoam, but it's very stiff. There's 2 pieces of terrain in here. I think the U.S. retail on this SRP, even after shipping and taxes and everything else, you'll be able to sell this in your store for like $30, maybe $35. They're super affordable and they look fabulous. They're gray foam so that when you chip them, nothing comes off. They also make things like this guy here. This is just a prefabricated castle corner of some type. Tons of these things. Again, modern. They got some steampunk. They've got dungeon tiles and terrain things. We can't really bring all of them in at once, but we want to know what you want. So if you could please go to their website, Ziterdes, which is ZITERDES.de. No, that's .com right there, Ziterdes.com. If you go to their website, take a look at their catalog, and if you make me a list of saying, hey, Phil, I want these items, I will make sure that you can get them when we make our initial order. So, check that out. Second of all is, where did the bag go? Here it is. The other day, I got some samples from a company I'd never heard of before called Thunder Bay Press. Now, normally book publishers, I'm like, well, whatever. But these guys, now these guys have some cool things. Here we go. First thing they sent me was a book called Cars, A Complete History. And they also sent me Landmarks and Planes, and there's another one called Trains. And there's a reason why these guys are cut in half. I'll show you that in a second. This book contains 50 paper car models. No kidding, in this book are 50 paper cars, and I built every one of them. When you get done, the last page of the book, last page of the instructions, is a tear-out little poster. There's also perforations along here that you can rip out every page of the sprue. And this is, again, the poster pages from the other 2 books. Cut the back along this line, throw away this part, and suddenly you have a little book about every airplane or car or building or whatever you just made. Now that sounds cool. This is $20 SRP, and I can get it at regular discounts for you. So you'd be paying $10 and selling it for $20. All these books are $20 each. Let me show you what comes out of here. This is the airplane stack, airplane book. And there were, I believe, 50 in here. They're not perfect, but they're really, really cool. There's the Constellation, there's the Lancaster, there's Air Force One, there's the slightly squished Fokker triplane, there's the Bell X-1, Russian bomber, that's a Wildcat 787, there's a stealth fighter, there's a flying car, there's a Wacko, and that's a GD Racer, a Hudson, my favorite aircraft in the entire set, the Vulcan bomber. Oh, you get to go over here. You're pretty. There's a Harrier, the French, first biplane. There's a B-52. There's a Concorde SR-71, also very sexy. You're going to. British World War II Handley Page bomber. There's the Spirit of St. Louis, Supermarine or Biachi or whoever that was, Racer. There's a Tiger Moth. All of these came out of that book. And after, I don't know, 3 weeks maybe of sitting around on the couch after work and watching TV, I built every single one of these. They all punch right out of the book with a bottle of white glue, just basic old Elmer's glue. I was able to put these together, and they're sturdy. You know, they're papery, but they're a heavier paper. And you put enough white glue on them, and they stiffen up. Yeah, my 6-year-old hasn't been able to destroy too many of these. Most of these are folded a bit because they've been sitting in this paper bag waiting for me to make this video. There's a B-17. There's your BOAC aircraft. I mean, there's the Voyager 1, and there's just all kinds of stuff. U-2. 50 airplanes in that book for $20. I made all of these over a few. So let's go look at these. You think that's cool. How about landmarks? And none of these are really to scale for any one game, but they're still amazingly cool. There's your Colosseum in Rome, Angkor Wat. There's a Japanese temple, Big Ben. There's the onion domes of St. Peter's. There's the actual Taj Mahal. Chichen Itza. That's that's Lady Liberty, who's lost her torch. We'll have to glue that back on for her. That is a temple in Mali. It's the only one I didn't recognize. But there's the Parthenon, London Bridge, St. Peter's. That's the castle in Germany. There's the Empire State Building, slightly squished. Looks like Godzilla's been up on there. Can't not have the Eiffel Tower. CN Tower in Toronto, the biggest one in the book and my favorite. This one's kind of crazy. This is the actual Golden Gate Bridge, and it's like 3 feet long. That's what the La Sagrada Familia in Barcelona looked like when they made the book. Now it's much, much larger. the White House, such as it is these days. There's the Great Wall of China. There is the Sydney Harbour Bridge, Sydney Opera House, which goes right behind the Sydney Opera Bridge. I believe this is the only one where you can set up an actual, sort of a thing. I think the Statue of Liberty in this might be way in the distance. But I have the Empire State Building. And then this one was the hardest one to build. That's Notre Dame in Paris. Again, all of these were in this book called Landmarks. It took me no time at all to make. You want to see the cars? Oh, I know you do. Hold on. Let me get all those guys off the table. Where'd my cars go? Come on, cars. Oh, there they are. I mean, seriously, 50 cars in a book here, right? There's a Studebaker, and there's your Trans Am. Goop, goop, goop. Is that right? New York Taxi. There's a Mercedes. That's a Corvette Stingray. There's a Cobra Mini Cooper. Very nice. Bugatti. That's a Prius. It's just a box it came in. There's your Lamborghini. That's pink Cadillac. Seen better days. All kinds of these things. Again, these are all in the books. There's a Bugatti Veyron. And that's a BMW again. There's a McLaren. That's a Lamborghini. That's a Viper. There's one of my favorites, the Audi Quattro. Very, very hot car. There's a Bug in here. There's a Model T. You can go through the entire gamut, even a Range Rover. There's a military Jeep, a hot rod. All this stuff, the cars especially, DeLorean, gonna go back in time. There we go. Now we sung the song. There's even a smart car. These are in the car book. $20, you can't go wrong. If you like these, let me know, because I will order them in. You can get them in your store. You can sell them to your customers. You can also have these. But wait, there's more. Let's get all those guys out of here. And I'm not going to squish you with those. Sorry, Bob. We'll put you back up there. But see ya. What's more is they also have a lot of other cool stuff. They make a lot of books like this. The Battles of Tolkien, an Atlas of Tolkien, the Heroes of Tolkien, lots of photos, lots of family trees. Good additional information if you are a huge fan of The Lord of the Rings. Those come in handy. They also have a license for a lot of Star Wars stuff. This is a similar vein. This is Star Wars Builders line. These are the droids, and in this book comes some cardboard C-3PO, R2, and BB-8 kits. The C-3PO stands, geez, almost 2 feet high. He's not here now, but he is gorgeous. Then there's a book that comes in the back, talks about all the droids in the movie. The other two I like the best, though, are Starfighters, because, come here, Mr. Starfighter. Oh, they come with an X-Wing, and, oh, where'd my silly TIE Fighter go? Oh, here he is. It's right on my lap. TIE Fighter and X-Wing. Made out of cardboard, not corrugated, but good stiff stuff. Built together in about 5 minutes, and in 10 minutes, you and your 6-year-old are going to be chasing each other around the living room with these giant cardboard ships that come in this box. 84-page book, 31 model pieces. I believe the SRP on this, yep, $24.99. So for less than $25, you can get 2 giant cardboard model kits straight from Star Wars that are sturdy. They hold up. I used some white glue to hold this guy together. This guy has no glue holding him together. And he has suffered the ravages of a kindergartner, and they hold up really well. I think these are super duper cool, and I think if you have a store, you would think they were cool too, which is why I'm showing them to you. They also do this, Star Wars felt, if you want to felt together a doll. They do Star Wars knitting, so if you want to even more crochet, this is for crocheting little Star Wars guys together. What else have I got in this pile? Tolkien stuff, since they're still doing a license. They're doing a Bestiary of Tolkien coloring book, dot to dot of Tolkien, Tolkien's World. I'm going to put 2 of these at random into a prize pack again with all the other stuff. So you will be able to take home a couple of those if you're the big winner. Star Wars Classic Paint by Numbers. No kidding. It's an actual paint by number set with all the paint, but Star Wars themes. Let's throw that in the box as well. And then there is my favorite of the Star Wars Builder sets. That's a Millennium Falcon. I wish I could show it to you, but again, the kindergartner ran off with it. He's kit bashing that hunk of junk together somewhere else. This one isn't to scale with the X-Wing or the TIE Fighter, but it is still amazingly cool. For $24.99, you can get yourself a Millennium Falcon that's it's this big. It's pretty reasonably sized. I have no complaints about it. I like it a lot. So again, these are guys that we don't have yet. I'm not currently offering them, but I'm thinking about it. If these look like they are of interest to you, please drop me a line, phil@golddisc.com, and let me know, and we will look at bringing these guys in. If we get enough demand, we'll bring them in right away. You'll be able to order up front at once. last up on the list, get these guys out of the way, is a company from the great state of Michigan, the land between the waters, a company called Dogmite Games Products, Dogmite something. Dogmite.com is their website. They're a wood maker, and they make dice trays and some cool magnet boxes and some real nice, nerdy, handmade wooden things. They're starting to come out, these are prototypes, of their first commercially available product. It's called the Dragon Sheath. Now, don't pay any attention to these sleeves. They're super early prototypes and kind of tight, but they're designed to show you what's inside this lovely greenish box held together by magnets. And inside, space for your dice, pencils if they're short enough, and a 28mm figure. So, going to D&D tonight, put your stuff in here, slap it back together, and off you go. Handmade, hand-stained, hand-sanded, really nice stuff. They're looking to put these into retail, so they sent me a couple of samples, a blue one and a green one. They'll be available in different colors and whatnot. The sleeves have already been redesigned to make them a little easier to get these things in and out of with, proper barcoding and all that. But these, I think, are amazing. What gamer wouldn't want to walk into game night with all of his stuff tucked into his pocket just like this? Dogmite.com is our website. Check them out. Again, if you think this is something you would want in your store, retail on that's going to be $20-ish, $25, probably $20. They might even be cheaper. It depends. They were talking about some cheaper manufacturing techniques. So we're going to talk to these guys, and if you have enough demand, we're going to bring these in. They also are working on a really cool thing that I can't talk much about, but if you go on their website, I bet you can see it. It has something to do with the pieces of your board game. You'll know when you get there. Take a look. I'm going to throw one of these in as well to the prize pack. I'm going to throw this blue in here. Now, what is this prize pack you keep hearing me talk about? Well, I'm tired of tripping over all this stuff, so I'm going to give you, that's right, you, a chance to win some of these fabulous riches. This week's prize pack, this episode's, I'm going to give you one each of the Harry Potter promo miniature blisters, 2 of the Major Luna promo figures for Infinity, the box of the Drew's shock-teamed mercenaries that I showed you earlier. You'll also get that Operation Red Veil not started set, that's a starter set. An Aristia core game, the one I showed you, Star Wars paint by numbers, couple of the coloring books, copy of Herbaceous, and one of the Dogmite Dragon Sheaths. All of this filthy lucre can be yours just by sending me an email right here, phil@golddisc.com, and saying, hey, I saw this stuff, I want this stuff, gimme, gimme, gimme. And I will put you in a drawing. Next episode, we will announce the winner of this giant prize pack. Winner of the last episode, of course, Bob at Tower Games, Minneapolis, Minnesota. 3920 Nicollet Avenue. I'm going to send him the metal Snape from the last year's Gamma Trade Show so you can show that off. Who knows, Bob, you might get lucky and win the new blisters as well. That's all I have for today, folks. If you want to check it out again, go to golddisc.com or goldendisc.com. That also works. Any questions or comments, or if you want to see anything coming up, or if you're curious about something, let me know. phil@golddisc.com. That's it for episode 8. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope to hear from you soon. Good luck on the contest, and have a good time. Talk to you soon.